Hello and welcome. This is the story of two retirees escaping winter. No cruise ships or all-inclusive resorts, just two bicycles, a month to spare and an island called the Dominican Republic. We flew direct to Puerto Plata. We, being Max, a former teacher who still can't help but educate, and me, Kurt, a self-confessed travel addict. 16 years of knowing each other, and this was our first tour together. Retirement really is the best excuse to start something new. When I mentioned the upcoming trip to the Dominican Republic, security was what concerned most people. I can say now that we felt very safe throughout the trip. We were never threatened or felt cheated. Of course, crime exists, like everywhere. But remember, while a story of a robbery makes the headline, a smile and an offer of a coffee doesn't, even though it's a lot more common. Leaving town was chaotic, but soon turned pleasant. Trucks, mopeds, motorbike taxis, all on a mission, but never hostile. Most major roads had wide shoulders, and back roads, quiet and peaceful.
That was good to see. I mean, I've seen coconuts and mangoes before, but so is that. Feels so good to be out and about. Oh. Lovely. A lot of rubbish around here.
This is more relaxing than staff meetings.
Du bist vielleicht ein bisschen schwerer als ich. Okay. It's not the same as a paved road. Dann brauchst du nicht so viel Grad. Hallo. Did you run away? Jump the fence. That's the flying market ahead. Goes from intersection to see if somebody needs a plastic thingy, pair of shoes or a bit of cloth.
Venga, damas, usted también, caballero, que llegó la tienda móvil.
We've landed. We got a room each here in a nice place with a restaurant that's open all day and a swimming pool, and it's about 3 minutes from the old Isabella ruins that I'm going to visit now. Life is wonderful. This is Isabella, the first Spanish settlement in the New World, and there are a few outlines of houses left.
It wasn't a very successful settlement. The town lasted just 6 years. Malaria, rebellion, and then the lure of gold did it in.
Poor lad died of malaria. So that was the biggest structure here, the warehouse. But at least they had a beautiful spot. And this is the first bicycle lane in the New World, originally built by Columbus himself. He's 500 years old. I think he also invented the bicycle. You see the two owls? Oh, today is going to be a shorter day to the beach. It's another commute shortcut. I wonder, can we walk here and push there? Come here. That's not what I generally would pick voluntarily. It's lovely to be on a road again. Now all I need is a puddle so I can wash my chain, or a hose. Those would be welcome too. So our bikes are probably 3 kilos lighter after the wash. It's a great investment. Found a place to stay here with art and the view and the living room and 2 bedrooms and an outdoor bathroom with an indoor toilet. Not half bad, eh?
Annoyingly, we had a one-man disco going full blast until 2 o'clock in the morning. At 4 he realized that the sound was gone, so he started it again. From now on, we always ask for a quiet room.
It was so nice and blue skies and everything. The whole morning we had breakfast at the beach. So much nicer in sunshine. No tire basura, don't throw rubbish. Yeah. No shortage of bananas around here. We have tobacco, drying shed for the leaves there. Behind the bougainvilleas. We have a cable car here. After a very lazy rest day, we're on the bikes again.
Now, here's a street that makes a mockery out of its name.
You have to hand it to Komoot. They do find extreme roads. Some of them scenic for all the wrong reasons. Now this is like the worst town in Sicily. So before the next Komoot shortcut, I asked a few of these motorbike taxis and they said no, stay on this road, that's tar. That's what they would use. This is hard work. Yeah, the edges are here. It's only the middle that's missing. But yeah, here I'm pushing. It's not getting better here. That's impressive. We got a pleasant surprise. After the last brutal uphill, we landed on tarmac. Okay, they had a brutal uphill on tarmac too, but even pushing is easier here.
That new saddle, it's trying to kill me.
Max's saddle sore got so bad he went to see a doctor. A 10-day saddle ban was the result.
So the story is, I'm cycling solo for the next week and a half, maybe 2. So the aim is to go to Constanza today, about 50 k's, but it's 700 meters higher up. It's a rich road now, but there's still a bit of a mist. It's getting a bit too cold without the jacket. No, I'm heading to the south. I'm going to the south of the island.
Okay.
And then to the northeast, and then back to Puerto Plata.
On the bike?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Got a cheap room. Looks pretty cheap. Yeah, that'll do for a night.
A different day today. I like it. So after the first extremely steep uphill, we have an extremely steep downhill. This is where the rubbish goes. Okay. It looks like some of it gets sorted. Okay. For bikes and motorbikes, there's a bridge. That's handy. Oh, they get a free car wash out of it. Well, at least some of it here is rideable. But I was really hoping for this 60 k's of tarmac, thinking it would be hard enough that way. So it looks like it's going to be a very long day today. I guess if I see an empty pickup truck, I try to cheat a bit. It's beautiful, but it's hard work. Now, this is the first time in decades that the thought of a motorbike entered my head. This is a stretch that, yeah, could be done with a grin as wide as the helmet. Almost too steep to push now. So here I've reached the highest point on this trip at 1470. Yeah, time for a little bit of downhill. Bit of riding. So, my bike is going on a chicken transport. I've worked enough today. Hopefully that's offered me a lift. And the lady over there offered me coffee and a place to rest until they came back on the way to town. Cool. I was a bit mistaken with that transport, but they brought me up to the highest point again and to a road with remnants of tarmac, and all it cost me was a smile, and it gave me a rest in a little house or half a village. Very friendly people offering me water. Then she came with coffee for everyone, and then she came with rice with fried salami. Ouwe, hoor, godverdamme sier. I have my brakes pulled as hard as I can. Good morning. And what a beautiful morning it is. So I had a good night's sleep after yesterday's extra hard work. So this is the western end of the number 2 highway. Looks quiet enough so far. Shades of the premium today. So after a rest day, it's time to do something again. That's a place for a picture. Beautiful. Stunning! Goes nice with the color of my bicycle. I got another beach. It's actually nice now to see that. But I was told it's too rough and with an undertow. They don't want to let you go in for a swim. It's about 7:30. Everything looks wonderful. Blue skies. Yesterday I learned from Max how easy it is to transport the bicycle on the bus. So today, coming back into Barahona, I had this brainwave that I could take a bus to Asua, because it's basically 60 k's of backtracking. That's the bus I'm taking. The bike is already in. It's looking good. So in order to go up northeast, I have to cross the mountain chain again.
The second crossing of the Cordillera was a whole lot easier, despite the short drizzle on the highest point. But the scenery was gorgeous too.
We put a lot of work into the protection of this road. A minor detail that I wanted to mention. Every time somebody shouts at me from the roadside, they're calling me Americano. Of course, meaning from the US. They're Americans too.
I really got into the early morning riding. Breakfast was always waiting somewhere down the road.
Buen día.
Ok, vaya con Dios.
That was just enough, so my belly wouldn't think my throat was cut. So I am at the highest point now. On the roadside, a cow.
I passed the biggest gold mine in Latin America, but there was nothing to be seen and no guided tours either.
And the bridge over the road, I guess it's for mining vehicles. The rain has stopped and I had breakfast. Something that looked like the Swiss Fasnachtskirchli, but not sugary, but with mayonnaise and salt. It's been a while since the last coconut. So good. 2 kilómetros más de gasolina para mis piernas, ¿no?
Gasolina, ¿me la llevan agua?
No. Samaná.
¿Samaná? Ahí viene. Ay, ay, ay. Esto sí tiene que. Este tiene que llegar el pedalazo hoy para llegar. 117, Mario. Ya, pues. Buen aniversario. Buen viaje. Que vaya bien.
Gracias. I only have about 33 k's until I see Mox again. He told me he's recovered, ready for big things again. Oh, time to leave Samaná. It's actually a nice enough place to hang out. Not much happening, not much to see, but a few friendly people, a few nice restaurants. Today's task is to cross the mountain range, the backbone of the peninsula. Oh, we're away from the main road.
Y dale ahí vete, pero cuánto ahí vete, mi pueblo, y dale ahí morro, ahí rojo.
Time to hit the road again. I got an extra rest day here because I hoped to go for a dive, but I couldn't arrange that the day we came because of national holiday. And yesterday I was told they're booked out. So, tough. I did secure a dive now for Tuesday from a different place close to Puerto Plata. Such a wide, quiet road after the hustle and bustle of Las Terrenas. I'm sure it won't be like this for the rest of the day, but I'll enjoy it while it lasts. It's gorgeous. Or, as a wise woman once said, stunning! Finally, downhill, and plenty of it. Look at that. So cool. Show you what about 30 francs can buy you if you're in a small place. Toilet, shower and a window. Now, not every place has a window. That's cool. That'll do for me. That's where we have breakfast. Great place. I had a nice dive down in Sosua. Now I'm on my way to Puerto Plata. Max is ahead of me. There's no need for him to wait.
Mamma mia, corre que llegó la guagua de los plátanos.
Here we are.
All's well that ends well. You can draw your conclusions about my barber experience while I give you mine about cycling the Dominican Republic. Of course, the tropical climate during the European winter is a big bonus, but it is the friendly people, the variety of landscape and the great coffee that make it a very attractive destination. Easy access with charter flights, visa on arrival, and the safety we experienced add to it as well. On the negative side, rubbish and noise are real issues. While I appreciate music while riding through villages, I don't need it blaring out of ghetto blasters all night. Ignoring the rubbish and packing earplugs is what I recommend. But, after adding up the pros and cons, I find it strange that not more cyclists are touring around the Dominican Republic. We didn't meet one. Give it a go!